Hi everyone, my name is Babatunde Adebimpe and today I'll be discussing the energy industry utility service outage prediction. This is coming from the week 3 of the Management 9390 course, Managing Business Analytics. Introduction. My professional experience for the past 15 years have taught me a lot about the power sector. From my experience, which is extensive, focusing from operations, maintenance, productivity, lean transformation, as well as projects. That means, I was able to build a power plant from ground zero all the way up. From my experience, I was able to know that the voice of the customer is what matters. The voice of the customer is what voice that we listen to be able to provide service. Without the customer, we have no business. And without a business, we are not able to provide efficient power, reliable power, as well as excellence in what we stand for. The importance of stable power cannot be overemphasized. Stable and reliable power is very crucial to human life because with power, we are able to power the homes that we live in. We are able to power the society that we all exist in. We are able to carry on businesses. We are able to provide, source of energy to critical infrastructures. This might be school, hospitals, office complex, industries, manufacturing plants. Everything that we depend on as humans come from power and energy. The use of AI in utility outage prediction has been something that's not been around for a long time, but over the past few years, it has become so famous that most companies are actually driving towards this direction. AI helps in so many ways, but the most important way that AI helps is it helps to predict outages before it happens. When you are able to prevent outages, you are able to prevent downtime. Downtime is when you have your equipment that's supposed to be online providing power and they are down. This downtime can run down businesses because you are not able to provide the service that your customers are asking for. Without stakeholder satisfaction, there is no business. Industry overview. The energy sector is rapidly adopting analytics and the use of AI to drive plants efficiency, plants operations and maintenance reliability, as well as state, city, and government environmental sustainability. As noted by Competing Analytics by Davenport and Harris, these technologies are becoming essential for competitive advantage. We have several factors that are actually influencing the adoption of AI in the energy industry. The first factor is climate change and extreme weather. The second factor is regulations and its pressures that it puts on these utility companies. And the third factor that is influencing the adoption of AI is demand for reliable services. I'll talk about climate change and extreme weather for a second. Climate change and extreme weather has been a key factor because over the past few years, we've had extreme weather, we've had tsunamis, we've had tornadoes, we've had hurricanes, we've had several extreme weather conditions that has happened in America and all over the world that has brought down infrastructures, that has brought down equipment, that has created a long amount of downtime. With downtimes comes the voice of the customers becoming unheard. Downtime is bad for business. Downtime means your equipment is offline. Downtime means you're not able to generate electricity. You're not able to provide power. Without being able to provide power, you're not able to power the grid. The grid is what the entire society depends on to live a sustainable life. I'll talk about the regulation and its pressures on power sectors. There are several regulations that cut across every country, and these regulations are dependent on how you run your business. So we have state regulations, we have city regulations, we also have some kind of a private or government regulations that comes from every angle. Some focuses on pollution, some focuses on noise, some focuses on different kinds of gases being monitored. It could be CO2, it could be carbon monoxide, it could be NOx, it could be several factors from the environmental standpoint, which means a power plant or an energy sector that generates electricity needs to follow every regulations before you pass that test. Without this, you have no license. And when you violate these regulations, your license is revoked and you're out of business, or you face a huge fine. I'll talk about the demand for reliable services. As we all know, we have customers, and customers are stakeholders. Customers have a huge stake in this business because the voice of the customer is what every business focuses on. If your customer is happy, you're doing good. If your customer is unhappy, you're going down. In the energy sector, the customers come first. Being able to provide power, being able to maintain your equipment, being able to stay online, being able to not only generate power into the grid, but able to distribute and properly transmit this power into homes, hospitals, schools, every single place is the key factor here. And when you have uninterrupted power, when your power is online 24/7, when you're able to accurately predict failures before they happen, then you're in business. Being able to predict failures before they happen makes you prevent downtime. Some power plants call this predictive maintenance. Some call it proactive maintenance. Be it predictive or proactive, the fact remains that you are able to prevent a risk before it happens. You're able to prevent a failure before it happens. You're able to mitigate these failures and attend to it before it happens. That gives you an edge. And with AI coming into play, you are in business for good. Future trend on AI and analytics. Looking through the use of AI in various energy sector, you would see that AI has come a long way in helping these power plants or the energy industry in staying in business. Times have changed. With future trends comes new plans, and AI is the new plan. Being able to generate power is one thing. Being able to properly distribute and transmit power is one thing. But the most important job in power business is being able to maintain your grid. When your grid fails, you're out of business. The grid is where every single home, every single infrastructure that determines or shapes human life comes from. Without power, there'll be no life. And without a grid, there'll be no power. The use of AI in the power sector is really important because when you use AI, you are able to properly optimize your outages. You're able to prevent downtime. You're able to use previous data. You're able to use precedents that happens years ago, collect data, you clean data, and then you're able to analyze properly what's going to happen in the next few weeks. The power of AI gives you predictive measures that helps you prevent outages before they happen. There are risks and opportunities in every power sector or in every power plant, as the case may be. But AI helps you in preventing downtime, because downtime is bad for business. Downtime takes down equipment that is not properly predicted to fail. Utility service outage prediction. Outages can be caused by equipment malfunction. When equipment malfunction, you have equipment failures. Equipment would malfunction based on two reasons. We might have equipment malfunction due to equipment failures as a result of poor maintenance, or we might have malfunction caused by defects from the manufacturer's design. But in most cases in the power plant, most equipment fails due to poor maintenance or poor maintenance culture. With the use of AI, you're able to predict equipment failure on time before they actually happen. Equipment failure happens when you have failed to properly schedule maintenance or properly prevent downtime by having a set time for maintenance. With the help of AI and analytics, you're able to prevent this kind of downtime by actually going through data from the past few years or going through the operations and maintenance data to be able to prevent failure by using predictive measures from this data and analyzing them into making them more productive. AI has helped a lot of equipment to stay alive. AI has helped a lot of power plants to stay online. With the use of AI, you are able to proactively predict downtime before it happens. Most times, it is called predictive maintenance. In some cases, it is called proactive maintenance. That's good, as long as it is not corrective maintenance, which is bad for business. Corrective maintenance is when equipment fails, creating downtime, causing your customers to be unhappy, and losing your trust that the customer has for you. And sometimes it could even mean loss of revenue or loss of business potentials. And how do we predict outages using AI? There are several solutions. A number one solution is using predictive maintenance and artificial intelligence capacity. Looking into Duke Energy's AI integrated machine learning analysis that the company is using. This is where they analyze different type of data, to predict equipment failures and optimize maintenance schedules. How do you optimize maintenance schedules? You're able to optimize maintenance schedule when you have the right information, when you have the right data, when you have the right operational data to back up your maintenance data. These two goes hand in hand. Without proper maintenance, your equipment fails. With failures on your equipment, you have unscheduled downtime. Unscheduled downtime is what every single power sector or power industry or powerhouse, or as the case may be, power plant prevents. It is the worst thing to happen to any business, and my industry and every other businesses that I know that deals in power prevent unscheduled downtime. Duke Energy uses AI machine learning to actually predict failures before they happen. They're able to input all equipment data into this machine learning, and this machine learning somehow takes information from the past few years, analyzes these informations, leverages the past, the current information or data to predict the future. It has helped. I was amazed the first time I saw this happened. I was able to go through this data, and I know it's gonna take one man a few years to do those things that this AI does in a few seconds. It is really impressive. The same thing goes for Exelon. Exelon also uses machine learning models to leverage weather forecast. If you look past the past few years, we've had a lot of hurricane, tsunami, tornadoes, which has crumbled, a lot of power plants. These several weather conditions or situations have made a lot of power plants become redundant. Sometimes it happens at midnight when the whole city is sleeping. At times it takes a few days to come back. At times it takes a few weeks for them to actually, correct these errors or these defects or these failures, or in the case of power plants, this downtime caused by these extreme weather conditions. Using AI to forecast failures before they happen would help a lot of power plants. using AI to accurately predict the weather conditions, about the storm that's coming, about the hurricane that's coming, about the tsunami that's coming. This helps these power plants to accurately prepare for what's to come. When you are able to prepare for what's to come, you're not surprised when it happens because you're ready and you prevent failures by any means necessary. AI was used by Duke's Energy as well as Exelon to accurately prevent failures from weather, from unscheduled maintenance, and from other several factors. Solution number 2 to prevent grid downtime is to use AI in the grid management system. So, for the case of learning, a lot of people don't have a lot of experiences on how the power sector, accurately transmit or distribute or run the grid. So the power plant is just like a factory where power is produced. The power is produced and it is passed into the substation. From the substation, it goes into the grid. From the grid, companies like Con Edison, like National Grid, takes over this power from the grid and uses data or information in their server to distribute this power from this grid into several homes and businesses and infrastructures and industries. This is how the world goes round. Properly distributing power from the grid is why we are able to use power to its fullest capacity. When the grid is being managed by AI, the AI observes every data, overflow, underflow, load balancing, reliability, efficiency. The AI makes sure that the grid is not overpowered, the grid is not underpowered, and that the grid is not in any way burdened by external factors. By AI, you are able to accurately distribute this load from several grid into multiple homes, into multiple companies, without having any need for follow-up. AI has been used in the power sector for so many years, but the past few years has been tremendously a game changer because right now we barely have power failures, all thanks to the use of AI. Southern California Edison uses AI-powered grid to run their business. And to the best of my knowledge, it's one of the best in the industry because of the use of AI. We also have real-time power flow optimization where AI accurately decide where the power goes, how much each household needs, how much a particular infrastructure or industry needs, and it accurately distributes this power in a way that it is optimized as against the past few years where we have to use thought process or guesswork. Ethics and legal consideration. With the use of AI, it is very important to ensure that data privacy and ethical usage are paramount to stakeholders and everyone that the power plant or the industry serves. The AI and analytics somehow helps ensure data privacy in every way. This also helps in maintaining transparency and fairness in algorithms. It also helps in adhering to regulations, its framework, as well as protecting users' rights. Future thinking. As AI becomes more integrated into utility operations and maintenance and productivity and operational excellence, it will impact jobs. It might maybe displace some roles while it also creates new roles. As much as AI might actually take more jobs from people who are experienced, I do not have any kind of doubt that AI would not be able to take practical jobs. Practical jobs are jobs that the operations engineers, technicians, maintenance supervisors, hands-on personnel on plant, attend to. The power plants or the energy industry our utility industry requires a lot of hands, a lot of physical hands to go around the plant and make sure the power plant runs to its full capacity. AI will play its part. The humans will play their part. AI might take roles that relate to data and numbers and analytics and machine learning, but it would never be able to take away jobs that only humans are able to do. And this involves work down, daily hurdles, hands-on repairs. AI will do its part. Humans will take charge. Also, when it comes to increased investment in the AI research and partnership section, I am very confident that AI would actually drive innovations in renewable energy, integration, and storage systems. Even right now, we have battery storage systems in solar power plants, in hydro power plants, and a bunch of different renewable power plants, where the use of AI is extremely useful in making sure these facilities run properly.